I want to move a little bit to something recently in the media and get your thoughts on it. Um, 4 or 5 migrants were caught on camera beating up 2 police officers. Um, and they were recently let out on bail and left New York City. Do you believe that migrants that commit crimes like that or assault police officers should be deported? And unfortunately, because New York City is a sanctuary city, the city cannot work with ICE or the NYPD in order to deport them. What are your thoughts, Jean, on migrants being deported who commit crimes?
Well, my understanding is that they would have to be deported.
I mean,
Whatever.
no, they actually in a sanctuary city, the policy is, first of all, in this situation, the migrants were let out on with no bail. And second of all, it has also been reported that NYPD cannot work with ICE to deport them, even though one of the people had 2 prior arrests for attacking a retail worker, and this was not their first time. Do you
First of
think
all,
that those
they
types
get
of
they get
policies, endanger New Yorkers?
My understanding, and again, I'm not a lawyer, and I don't know all of the ins and outs of that awful. The video was horrendous, and I understand there was a big group of people, some of them immigrants, some of them not. But I think if somebody breaks the law, the law has to work, and my understanding is that they will be deported.
Okay, James, would you like to respond to that?
You can't have it both ways. You can't say, I support sanctuary cities, and then say, well, but when they commit crimes, we should send them back. You can't send them back if it's a sanctuary city because you don't have the means. You don't have the mechanism because you're not allowed to even talk to ICE. They don't even allow them in the courtrooms. They don't allow them anywhere. There's zero cooperation. So you can't have it both ways, Gene. You can't say on one hand, yes, we should deport these violent people, okay? But then say, oh, but I want sanctuary cities and we have to be humane. You can't have it both ways.
I mean,
let ICE do their
I'm
job.
I'm not sure that's accurate.
I agree with you. I think that's an accurate statement. I don't want to say that all migrants commit crimes because it's not true. And there's no thing supporting.
If they're guilty of a crime, because I hear about people being deported all the time.
Okay.
So I don't believe that's accurate.
I mean, just to get a little more framing, 41 people have been arrested since May at the Roosevelt Hotel. A friend of mine who works for Macy's recently told me that they are constantly hit on a daily basis by what she said were Venezuelan undocumented workers in terms of retail theft. What do we do when we have people coming into this country using our asylum program to stay here as guests? And then, we're really not vetting them correctly at the border. And a lot of them are going through policies such as the no bail policy and repeat offenders of the same retail theft. What are your thoughts, James, on that?
It's an absolute outrage. It's an absolute outrage. There's interest in Brooklyn, where I'm from. They have a migrant camp in Floyd Bennett Field. And during the day, they're going to a nearby mall and they're just looting and stealing. And they're not being prosecuted. They're not being deported. I don't know what they're talking about. When Joe Biden came in, he actually had a moratorium on deportations. I think it was the first 100 days, even if you committed violent crimes. Okay, we're not vetting them at all. We're taking names, we're giving them court dates, and then we're letting them go upon their way. It's called catch and release. Let them wait in Mexico where they're not committing crimes here in America. I'm not saying they're all criminals. I'm saying, but those criminals, those migrants who are criminals, we can't deport because of these sanctuary cities. Where are they being deported? They're being deported in red states that aren't sanctuary states or aren't sanctuary cities. Those you just mentioned those migrants who attacked those police officers. They weren't being deported. There was no mechanism because you couldn't notify ICE Right now, I believe they're in California committing more crimes, I assume.
Gina, I'll give you an opportunity to respond to what James said.
Would you consider Utah, that's a red state, Oregon, New Mexico, Illinois, they're not exactly all blue states that are sanctuary states.
Thank you for watching the clip. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also stay tuned for more In the Cann with Carmella Cann.